The senator went on to make a compelling point. When terror groups like ISIS threaten Americans, we launch missiles, we wage war, we take them out. So why wouldn't we treat the cartels the same way or even worse? The cartels are the ones helping to bring fentanyl to all 50 states. It is a problem with dire consequences, and it leads to the deaths of about 200 Americans every single day. Sure sounds like someone is waging war on us. Why not fight back? Joining me now is Republican from Virginia and House Freedom Caucus member, Congressman Bob Good. Congressman, thanks so much for joining us this evening.
Great to be with you. Thanks for having me again.
So Senator Graham, he laid out his plan today for defeating the cartels. It starts with designating them as terrorist groups, which he says sets the stage for military action in Mexico. I know that you've also signed on to a proposal to handle the cartels in the House. Do you think Democrats and Biden will get on board with using military force?
Well, the cartels are not really the problem. Democrats and President Biden are the problem. President Biden has opened our borders, has created the demand for illegals to invade our country, and the cartels are just trying to make money off the opportunity that Biden has given them. Yes, they're vicious individuals. They ought to be designated as terrorists and enemies of the United States, and we ought to do everything we can to stop them. But the problem is our own government. The problem is Joe Biden refusing to keep the American people safe, instead borrowing billions of dollars to send it to foreign countries. He doesn't care about our border. He cares about other borders around the world, around the globe. And so he is the problem. His failure to enforce our laws, to secure our citizens, to enforce our borders, and to continue to complete the border wall, to end. He reinstated catch and release. He ended remain in Mexico. He's the problem. He's created the demand, and the cartels are just trying to make money. They're making billions of dollars a month off what Biden has created.
Well, the cartels, they're controlling the border. Our Border Patrol agents aren't getting the support that they need. If they did, maybe those 2 Americans wouldn't have died in Mexico. But now we've got Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas praising border agents, which is certainly something we haven't heard from him in the past. Listen to this.
The United States Border Patrol are they make up an extraordinary workforce. Individuals who risk their lives every day to secure the border.
Congressman, why do you think Mayorkas is suddenly now gushing over border agents? Could it have anything to do with the fact that there's the threat of impeachment from House Republicans? Do you think that's impacting his sudden change of tune?
Well, I am on impeachment articles this Congress and last Congress from Mayorkas. But again, he is just carrying out the policies of President Joe Biden. President Joe Biden wants an open border. He's done more harm to the United States intentionally than any president ever in the history of the country. Tell me whenever in the history of the country has our own president done more to intentionally harm the United States than what he's done with allowing 6 million illegals to invade our country. 1 million of those, as you know, the criminal gotaways who don't want the free health care, the free social services, the free education, the free travel, the free hotel stay, the free phone, and so forth, because of what they intend to do in our country, the harm, what they're trafficking across the country or across the border, human trafficking, drug trafficking, sex trafficking, or their criminal or terrorist backgrounds, or whatever it may be. So Biden is the problem. Biden deserves to be impeached. How do we let him do this for 2 more years? It's not a question of resources. It's a question of will. As others have said, this is not the invasion is a feature to Biden. It's not a problem. It's a feature. It's what his goal is, what his objective is, and he's executing his plan.
And before you go, Congressman, I want to ask you about something that's obviously very important to NewsMax, very important to our audience that's tuning in. As you know, DirecTV platform NewsMax back in January. Has this come up at all with members of the House Freedom Caucus? And where is Congress on plans right now to fight conservative censorship?
Well, it is a major problem, as you know, and NewsMax is just the latest representation, and we need to have hearings on that from the committees who have jurisdiction over this. We need to have a hearing on this with Judiciary Committee. I'm not on that committee. I'm not on Judiciary Oversight, but those are the committees that would have responsibility for this, and we need to make these companies like DirecTV, AT&T answer for the censorship and the suppression of of a free press, quite frankly, as well as exchange of viewpoints, which is essential to the foundation of our country.
Congressman Bob Good, always great to see you, sir. Thank you for taking time tonight.
Thank you. Great to be with you.